There's been a lot of talk in the web designer community and really in most industries of is AI going to take over our job? And so I decided to put it to the test, and I am pretty impressed with recently what AI has come up with. I have a lot of caveats to that, and I'm going to dive into it in this video. I'm going to show you what Claude and ChatGPT came up with for our website, and how what I think will convert better. So let's flip the screen. I'll give you timestamps as to how long each thing took me, and you can decide what is the best option for you. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take you guys into Claude. And before I said, hey, I want this type of website, I did a lot of pre work. Well, the client did a lot of pre work. So there's a brand questionnaire that she filled out completely. It talks about the ideal client, what the homepage should say, what the about page should say. All my clients go through this. And then she has her old website with copy, so I put that copy in there as well. And then I also got her brand document. So more about her, like colors, fonts, client, that type of thing. So all of those are in the files right now. And then I have a lot of instruction about her, even just like fun facts about her, things like that. So then I went in and I asked for to come up with a little summary to make sure that we're all on the same track, and we were. And then I said, okay, let's have you come up with a homepage mockup. So this is what it came up with. And so it's not going to have photos. It'll look a little strange because of that. But I mean, it was fine. But she's a photographer. This looks very blocky. It did use her colors, which I appreciated, but it's not going to convert. Her ideal clients is like seniors and families, and it's fun and like bright and colorful, and like this is not doing it. So from there, I said, okay, I'm going to give you some like designs from other websites, so maybe that you can kind of catch on to what the vibe is here. So you can see like very bright, colorful, that type of thing. I also told it that, I just wanted to be more colorful and things like that. So it gave me kind of a synopsis, and then it came back with this. And I mean, granted, her branding colors are not super bright. So I get that, but I still feel like it's super blocky. And I said, maybe if I put some photos in this. So I gave it some photos. Maybe then it can spit out something better. And I like what it comes up with is good. It will probably convert. She could take this code right here, paste it in to her website, and it would work. I really like certain aspects. Like this is awesome. 15 years in the metro, things like that. I like, the kind of like more little bit about her with that scrolling bar. It still doesn't have any like of the elements of, I don't know, like waviness. And I was kind of hoping for more of that. So I could have gone back and forth more with that. But I paused. This whole website process with Claude was fast, I will say. It probably took, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, I would say. So it was fast, right? It cranked out something really fast. What I will say is like if you ever are going to do this process and then you want to edit the website, you have to then go back into your AI platform, tell it what you want to do, have it redo the code, get that code, and then put it into your website platform. You can't like it's a little bit clunky, right? And I don't know how it is for SEO. It could be good. I haven't tested like a website that was created on AI, so I can't for 6 months, and so I can't speak to the SEO side of things. So that is that. Now let me show you how much time I spent. We'll go over here. So I spent about 2.5 hours. I was on a call with her for part of it, just setting up her Showit website and then developing the homepage. So it did take more time, and I am a website designer, so I can do this probably a lot quicker than other people. But that being said, there's some really beautiful templates on Showit where you can plug and play. And so let me show you kind of what I came up with for her. And you can kind of see more what I was thinking for her brand. There's, of course, tweaking that is going to be done to this website. It is not done. But this is more the vibe I was going for. Um, More movement, which, you know, maybe Claude and AI is not good with developing movement. There's some on that, but just a lot more fun. And I feel will attract, especially like the senior type of, which is her main person. So that is one example. And now I'm going to give you a different example that was done with ChatGPT. I don't really think it matters. I do think you probably need a paid plan to have it come up with something a little bit better, but I'll show you another example and I'll give you my thoughts. I was, again, very impressed. But again, I think what I can do is better. That's like the short story of it. Okay, again, I'm going to show you the AI version first. So this is literally just a code block that I plopped into Squarespace and it spit this out. Like, that's kind of incredible. I don't think it's going to convert as well because I don't think it speaks to our ideal client as well as the one I designed, but that's fine. Well, maybe it's not fine. I don't know. Okay, so here's this. There's some tweaks. We need to put the video in still. Her ideal clients are real estate agents, elevated, like making a lot of money. I just don't think this is going to resonate with them as much. She has like beautiful branding photos. I had to go back and forth with AI quite a bit to just be like, do this, tweak this. I probably spent a couple hours going back and forth with AI to develop this sales page. It is a very long sales page, so it makes sense. But for somebody who doesn't know how to design on Squarespace, going back and forth with an AI platform could be a easier thing. But there was definitely a lot of things that I needed to tell it to do. Pretty good for, just round one. And it's mobily optimized, which kind of just blows my mind. And the links are correct. And it took the photos and SEO optimized them, which also blew my mind. Like, it would take the photo, it would give it a oh my goodness, I cannot talk. It gave it all of the SEO things it needs. So change like the title tag and all that. So I was impressed, I will say. This is the one I designed. So again, it's a very different vibe. This feels more high end. There's a lot of copy up there, but that's just what was requested. I just feel like this is probably going to convert better. This product is very high ticket. And so you want to have breathing room and like you want the website to flow. And I felt like this one, the AI one, was a little bit more jagged. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but we'll see. I wish I could test both of them and just see what converts better. But I was, again, overall very impressed with AI and what AI can do. Will I be out of a job in a year? I don't know. But if I am, I'll just pivot. So if this is something that you guys found interesting, please let me know. If you guys have tried ChatGPT, Claude, whatever AI tool and developed a website, please link it. I would love to see what the AI platform came up with. And if you guys want more like behind the scenes of how to do it in AI, let me know and I will show you how I did it. Since creating that portion of the video, Claude came out with Claude Design. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes and see what it can come up with. Maybe it's different than just the normal generic Claude thing I was using. So first things first, I'm going to set up my design system and just give it an idea of what my brand looks like. And then I'm going to have it create a landing page for me. Okay, so what I did is I put a little bit of my company here. I'm going to assume that you probably don't have the code for your website. So you can do what I did. I just uploaded my logo, my font files, and then some screenshots of my website. Another thing you could do is if you have this Chrome extension right here, go full page, you can go to your website, click that, and it'll take a full page screenshot. So that's all I did. And then any other notes, I honestly went to Claude and was like, can you just give me a rundown here? And it did. So we're going to put that in and then continue. So this is going to take a while. Could take 5 minutes, could take 20 minutes, depending on how much you put in. So we'll click start and we will step away. There is some capabilities to edit as you go, so I will show you that. But I'm probably just going to let it do its thing and then edit it later instead of editing it while it's working. Okay, as you can see, Claude is still working, but this is what I was talking about. If you wanted to mess with any of this, you could. This right here, I that's not my body type. So you can just go in and edit some things, but it has my color palette. That's fine. That's fine. Those are pretty accurate. I usually don't have rounded corners, but honestly, we're just going to let it go. And then has some logos, which is great. So again, I'm just going to let it all go through. This is to set up the back end of your, stuff. I also have all of Claude set up as a whole with my brand voice and all of that. And so all of those components are going to help in creating the website, which is going to be our next step. Is it weird that I'm kind of nervous to do this? Because if it designs something better than I can design or as good as I can design, I feel like I'm going to be out of a job, but we're going forward. All right. So project name, website, we're just going to website for Rebecca Reed Creative, and high fidelity wireframe is like what web designers use in the first step, laying things out. So we want to actually see what it can create. Let's do ready to create, and then describe what you want to create. Let's talk to it. All right, I want you to design a 5-page website, homepage, about page, contact page, blog page, and services page for Rebecca Reed Creative, focusing on her website in a day service, featuring website examples she has done and testimonials. Please match the design style of Rebecca Reed Creative, as well as the screenshot attached. Okay. I did already attach those screenshots in my big thing, but I just wanted to do it again, okay? To be safe. So it's gonna work on something. We're gonna see what it comes up with. I'm asking for a 5-page website. This is what I do for my website in a day clients: home, about, and then generally contact, services, and a blog. Sometimes they want other things, but that's what I generally do. So we're just gonna see what it can come up with. I don't really know how I would transfer this for website in a day because they don't usually have a website they like, right? They're coming to me because they don't like their website or they have no website. So I'm not exactly sure how I would do it for them, but because I don't want to upload other people's websites. That would be plagiarism. So anyway, but it might work for you. So let's see. I will come back and show you what it comes up with when it's all done. All right, here is the big reveal. Of course, it's going to look really odd because it needs photos, which, side note, if you want to do that, you can click edit. I'll show you in a minute. Let's just take a peek and I'll give you my overall thoughts. It looks very AI-y to me. That's what I'm noticing, is that a lot of these AI websites, I can tell as a designer that they're AI. And maybe other people can, and so maybe that works for you. But I'm sure if you went back and forth enough times, like here, edit, we have to get our window back. You can say you can click on it and then say replace it with this photo and upload a photo. I'm sure that would help. This doesn't even look like Tenez, which is my font. And why would they not put my logo here? Things like that. So again, you can go back and forth a ton with it. I think it would still take a similar amount of time. I had my friend Mara do not this process in the design, but just general Claude to see what would come up for a sales page she was creating. And you can kind of see the similarities, right? And we have very different brands. Here is her website. So fun, beautiful. She's from Florida, so it's tropical. And this is good. It's good. I mean, but it's not, will it convert? Probably. It'll probably convert. But it still doesn't have the professionalism of her brand. Just if I'm being completely honest. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. That's how you design a website. I do love that it is coming up with all these pages, but even I showed that I did those waves in between. Why is it not doing that? Can it not do that? I don't know, maybe. I always see these emojis. Okay, so unless you are a diehard emoji person, please do not put emojis as distinctions on your website because it just screams AI. That's just my 2 cents again. But again, this is cool. Doesn't have the correct prices, but whatever, that's fine. I would obviously have to upload client work, and I think that would make it more look like my brand. The blog is fine, don't really care, and the contact's fine. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would love to know. If you want a training all about how to create a high converting website that will actually get you clients, watch the training below. We go into SEO, which is so important. It's also what's getting you shown on Google, and how to design a website that's going to convert and not just look like AI.